Big Dash knows what?
Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Today's video is a recap of day 7 training camp. And as you saw in the intro to the video, it's all about Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt. Fantastic display of talent again today. He did it against the ones again today. He posterized my Alabama Crimson Tide brother, Xavier McKinney. Just nasty work today from Jalen Hyatt. It didn't matter who was on him today, he was getting busy. And here's the thing. I told you before that the man has a chip on his shoulder. I told you before that he plays like he has something to prove. And now that you see it real live, in action, in practice, I understand. But I don't expect it to be any different because, again, he's running with the ones now. He beat the safety. He beat Darnay Holmes. Split the coverage. Down the seam. Daniel Jones throws a dot for the touchdown. And then later on in practice, he beats the darling of training camp, Trey Hawkins, one-on-one deep. Daniel Jones with the dot again. You don't want to get too excited. Obviously, you want to pray that everybody stays healthy. But right now, I'm looking at Deonte Banks, check. John Michael Schmitz, check. And then now you're talking about Jalen Hyatt, our third round pick. Our third round pick looking like the guy. Because a lot of mock drafts had Jalen Hyatt going in the first and possibly being a New York Giants pick. We ended up getting him in the third round. But this man is looking like a first-round pick. Could he be the next one? That's me jumping out the window. But let me bring it back to reality. Fantastic day of practice today. A lot of good work from the offense. Some good work on the defense as well. It wasn't all just wide open passes and completions and stuff like that. Daniel Jones had a fine day. In 11 on 11, he went 12 for 17. In 7 on 7, he went 4 for 4. But again, he hit Jalen Hyatt twice for 2 touchdowns. But he wasn't the only one putting in work. There was a nice drill. Linebackers on running back, Saquon Barkley. He hit Bobby Okereke with an out and up. Put a little on it, right? Up the sideline. Poorly thrown pass by Tommy DeVito. Saquon Barkley has to reach back. One-handed, grabs the ball, touchdown. This is what we want to see from Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley in motion out of the backfield, one-on-one with a linebacker. That's the matchup that you're looking for. Give me that matchup 99.999% of the time, because I guarantee Saquon Barkley is going to win that at least 99.999% of the time. It's not too many linebackers that can keep up with Saquon Barkley. It's not too many linebackers that can cover him one-on-one. I'm sorry. It just is what it is when it comes to that. So, again, there was highlight after highlight today. Now let's talk about some of the notes and things like that. So Paris Campbell was held out today. He was called in a maintenance day, but really he's dealing with a little bit of tendonitis in the knee. Now, is this a red flag? It depends on how you're looking at it. Tendonitis, when caught early, is very, very manageable. Hopefully, in this situation, they did catch it early. He's able to maintain it. Given the proper days off. Give it enough time for it to heal on itself and stuff like that. That's tendonitis. It just is what it is when you're dealing with things like that. But they gave him a maintenance day, a little flare up of the tendonitis. Hopefully he, after a few days off, he's back and doing this thing. We have to manage the time with Paris Campbell. And this was one of the big questions when we picked up Paris Campbell. And this is probably the reason why he only got a 1-year deal, because he's had that injury history. But I'm not going to dwell on that. Again, it's just so much good stuff going on. And he's putting together such a good camp as well. I'm just going to hope for the best with Paris Campbell. Pray that he is able to properly maintain that knee. And then when we get into these games, we just, on a week-to-week basis, need to figure out the right amount of practice, the right amount of rest that he needs in order to be who we need him to be throughout the whole entirety of the season. Now let's talk about the offensive line. So we got us we got us a battle that I didn't see coming, but I'm absolutely ecstatic that it is happening. The right guard spot. For the second practice in a row, you're seeing Ben Bredesen get some reps at right guard. And I believe today he actually started at right guard because Glowinski was running with the twos. I'm excited. I said it in the last video that the line of Thomas, Azudu, Schmitz, Bredesen, and Neal gets me excited. Just a little bit excited about it. Now there's still some things to prove, but I'm liking the way that sounds right now. Bredesen was more like, I thought he was going to be that swing guy. Him or Azudu was going to be the swing guy, depending on who won the spot. But now, they're playing around with the offensive line. Now you're seeing Bredesen getting some right guard snaps, and I love to see it. One guy I wish was healthy and off of the pup list is Marcus McKeithen, because I really think he's a gem as well. And depending on what happens, if Ben Bredesen shows that he can be a good right guard, Glowinski's kind of old though still, so I thought maybe Marcus McKeithen might be threatened for a spot or anything like that. But I'm going on a rant. Let me bring it right back. I'm liking the lineup on the offensive line. I'm liking it. I'm liking Azudu and Bredesen at guard. I'm liking that young nucleus. And just think about the whole entire line. Like I said before, I think everybody, the way that line is formatted, everybody is either right under 25 or either all of them are under 26. And that's a good young nucleus. If they can continue to grow and thrive in this system, get that continuity, move as a unit, build that camaraderie as an offensive line, we're looking at a good offensive line for years to come if all these things come together. Yeah, man. So today was mainly a highlight of Jalen Hyatt. That's what everybody was talking about. Again, Paris Campbell had that little bit of news. The offensive line had a little bit of news. Oh, another thing, on the defensive side, Pinnock was back out there next to McKinney. And I believe this might be the second or third day in a row. But Darian Beavers did not run with the ones today. He was rotated in there, but it was Micah McFadden that got the start today on defense next to Bobby Okereke. So again, there's some good battles that are happening. Some real good battles that are happening in this training camp that have yet to be resolved, and I don't see it a resolution happening maybe until preseason game 3. It just depends, because I don't believe they play the starters a lot, against Detroit next week. You might see some guys that are fighting for a starting role. You might see Darian Beavers and Mike McFadden more. But like your key guys, your Leonard Williams, your Dexter Lawrences, your Daniel Jones, your Barkleys, guys like that. You're not going to see Andrew Thomas. You're not going to see these guys get a lot of reps next week, and that's understandable. It's understandable. But it's going to be some rotational guys that should get some quality snaps, especially on that offensive line. Bredesen, Azudu, Schmitz needs a lot of snaps as well. Really want to keep him healthy too. Not even healthy, but you want to make sure you maintain him, that you're not getting him too many reps. That way he gets hurt. We want to be able to preserve a lot of these players. But I'm just like, it's day 7 of training camp. I have yet to see a bad day, especially on the offensive side when it comes to Daniel Jones. And the rookies are performing in these practices. I will say this too, though. In some of those wide receiver drills, Darnay Holmes, man. Darnay Holmes is looking like a liability. Hate to say it. He's looking like a liability. Cole Beasley is cooking him. Darren Waller cooking him. But, that's pretty much expected. You got... Who is that? You got Sills beating Adoree Jackson. I'm going to call that a fluke. But yeah, just the footage that we're getting, the clips that we're getting, the notes, the tweets, everything has been fantastic so far. I will say this. I'm going to favor the offense in these practices so far, except for the padded practice. And it's just funny that tomorrow is going to be a padded practice as well. And if the defense has a stronger day during the padded practice, and pad day number 2, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable about this defense, because when it's 11 on 11 and they're in shells, the offense is doing some magnificent things. And I can't help but get excited about things like that. So I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Hyatt. Let's go.